GigaBoots Review. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is a fractal nightmare, cruelly disguised as something I loved in my childhood, defying me at every step to gaze deeper and deeper into it, to fully absorb the full measure of its awe-inspiring terror. You can look at this footage and say to yourself, yeah, that looks awful, but you still won't fully grasp its true nature. You haven't a clue of how deep this pile of shit is, unless you have a thorough understanding of the original Tony Hawk games, and then play enough of 5 to fully absorb what has changed and made it all so wrong. I stand at the end of this journey, having nearly gotten a platinum in this game, $21 poorer for Redbox fees, and I know that the irony is that, in spite of how terribly complex the terribleness of this game is, it doesn't deserve the time it would take to explain it to you. It doesn't deserve the hours of my life I gave to it. It doesn't even deserve the time it will take to render this video, but I'm going to make this review anyways. Why? Because they've done something incredibly repugnant by making this ugly creature and dressing it in the skin of the Pro Skater series, and I deserve for you to understand it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is made with Unreal Engine 3 and developed by the same company that created the horrid Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD. It's also co-created by a developer whose only credit to date is making Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. This game inherits the shitty, incorrect feel of Tony Hawk HD, then layers many more problems on top of it. It suffers from framerate problems that get increasingly worse as the game goes on, forced online lobbies, countless loading screens, and it is comprised of the most uninspired retreads of older Tony Hawk levels, filled with the absolute worst missions of any Tony Hawk to date. Not only are these missions terrible, but every level has the same mission over and over again. In one level, you push all the barrels into a pool before the time runs out. In another, you knock all the eggs out of the pool, and in another, you knock all the balls out of a pool. Every level is like this, with incredibly difficult, completely unenjoyable, and repetitive as hell missions filling them. To make matters worse, the levels are designed like garbage, with worse versions of 2 different classic Tony Hawk levels serving as the highlights of this game. So while you're doing incredibly frustrating missions and terribly designed levels and dealing with unresponsive and glitchy controls, you're treated to what is the worst music I've heard probably ever. It is astonishing that a soundtrack for a $60 game can be so shit when we have games like Hotline Miami come out for $15 and have one of the best soundtracks ever. They had money to throw around and license some great music like the older Tony Hawk games, but instead you get your choice of cheap dubstep, shitty rock, and shitty girl rock. You can't skip tracks, that small mercy apparently being too hard to program, but the songs will occasionally skip when playing at seemingly random points. But it gets worse. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 actually removes many features from prior Tony Hawk games, and it's not just the latest stuff. They remove features from as far back as 4. You can't get off your skateboard to better navigate the environment, you can't change your grind mid-stance, you can't even pull off tricks while performing a manual. The variety of trick options has been limited substantially, and in the middle of this culling, Robomoto had the fucking audacity to retool a major part of how this game flows. If you push the grind button in the air, you slam down towards the ground. And while I understand the idea behind it, allowing you to control your verticality, thus giving you more control over your skater, the reality is that you have to fight pushing the grind button until the moment you're over the rail instead of just holding it while you're in midair, which makes long jumps to rails unnecessarily harder and makes the feel of the game much, much worse in general. So the missions suck, the gameplay sucks, the levels suck, music sucks, what else sucks? Everything sucks! Haven't you been listening? Everything sucks! The game is designed for online, but gains no real benefits from it. The online lobby is pointless. You leave it the moment you start a mission, and the online multiplayer modes are mostly devoid of people anyway. By the way, there's no single console multiplayer. Horse and graffiti aren't in the game anymore, so there's basically no multiplayer as far as I'm concerned in this always online Tony Hawk game. Whenever you get stat points for your skater by beating missions on higher difficulties, you have to stop playing and go to the title screen to assign points in the Create a Skater mode, which itself is embarrassingly limited compared to past titles. You can create a skater using 3 different sets of parts: head, body, board. You unlock parts by playing through the game. You can also buy some of them with money that you get from beating missions. There's no real feeling of customization here. The structure of the game is also very lacking and quite bizarre. You select a skater in the Create a Skater mode and play through the levels. There's no story or anything, just online lobbies from which you select missions. You earn stat points and unlock levels by earning enough stars on each mission. Then when you're done, there's nothing. You're just done. You can spend the dozens of hours necessary to get all the 6 scores on every mission and still be nowhere near getting a platinum. In order to do that, you'd have to play enough as several different skaters to get enough stat points to get those 2 trophies. But Dan, I hear you say, the trophies don't matter. Well, you're fucking wrong, because those trophies provide the only real sense of structure that the game even has, despite their occasionally bullshit requirements. Hell, the only way you know you've earned enough stars to unlock the next level is from the trophy you get. Without using these trophies as goalposts, there's absolutely no feeling of accomplishment or structure to the bastard. You're just floating from one level to the next, hating yourself for playing it. Speaking of which, fuck this game. I don't need this shit. I'm returning it to Redbox before they charge me another $3.
I forgot to record the music? God!
I guess I can talk about the creative part. It sucks. It's in this game, so it has to suck. It's glitchy as shit. I went around the online levels and felt nothing. It's all garbage. Hell, this one is so bad that it's apparently worth censoring. Seriously, I have no idea what the hell this is about. I'm not altering the video. This level actually has this going on. I give up. I fucking give up. I've recorded this turd of a soundtrack now so I can actually return this game.
What? Come back, you fuck! Ha! What? What now? Why didn't you just say that sooner? I could... Here we go. Here's one. And there you go. One stray cat.
Hey, asshole, hurry up.
I'm not done yet.
Wait, let me guess. Tony Hawk 5?
Yeah.
It's okay. I understand. Come here.
Hey, did you enjoy this review? Then there's a good chance you'll enjoy these reviews of Rogue Legacy and Bunny Must Die. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to us, and consider contributing to our Patreon because it helps us produce videos like these. We'd use the Iron Sword theme here like we usually do, but I just used that for a sad theme, so I gotta use this Sonic song. And for anyone who's wondering, Mirror of Fate is actually a better game than Tony Hawk 5.